This is...
Yes! Another Zubat!
Eamon, what are you doing?
Playing Pokemon Go.
Oh, that's right. This is a Pokestop.
And let's get back to the books.
But before we get to that, what kind of tea is everyone drinking?
I'm drinking blueberry black tea with sugar in the raw in it. Yum.
I'm drinking vanilla caramel tea with caramel sweetener and a packet of sugar.
And I'm being British with Twinings Earl Grey tea. And I have milk in it. Okay, so let's get started.
Oh, yeah. So, the first one is Black and Bitter, like my soul. Name a series that's tough to get into, but has hardcore fans.
So, mine for this was Throne of Glass. And this is actually the newest book. This is not the first book, because it was checked out. But what I found with this book is that if you can make it through the first book, you have to read the rest of them. But a lot of people seem to struggle making it through the first one. So I really love those books.
I'm gonna get yelled at for this, but mine is The Hunger Games.
I know, I'm feeling a little like, what? Right
Okay.
now.
Because it was, for me, I know, unpopular opinions, but that's for another day. But anyway, it was really hard for me to get into at the beginning because I'm not a violent person. So.
Oh, that might have been why it was easy for
Squid.
me to get into.
Yeah. City and I
I'm
are
just-
people.
Yeah. So mine, I don't actually have the book with. Do I have my phone?
You can try to.
I will try to. But mine's going to be Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. That series is very intimidating to me. Like,
Well, all those books are so long.
I know.
So the next one on mine is Peppermint Mocha. Name a book that gets more popular during the winter or a festive time of year.
Do I go first?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going with obvious, like, Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle.
Is that a different cover? I've not seen that cover.
This is like the first cover.
Oh,
They like revamped it. This one's the ugly one.
it is the ugly one. I
It's the
remember.
only one we
that.
have. I read some of like this. It's really good. I just didn't have time to finish it. But it's Christmassy.
I'm being basic because I couldn't think of anything. And I'm going with The Christmas Carol because literally I could not think of anything at all. But it's a good book. It's a classic.
So mine was the Harry Potter series, especially Goblet of Fire because of the Yule Ball. And they always have like Greek Christmassy things, and then also Halloween stuff. They always start talking about like the pumpkin juice and pumpkin pasties. And then it makes me really hungry. It makes me wish I had the food.
I know.
And all these are usually about eating, right?
Yeah. Really though, didn't you want the charts from like the 5th book? I really did.
Oh, which ones?
The ones that Lena was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not there yet.
Alright. One of my personal favorites, hot chocolate. What is your favorite children's book? I'll go first for this one. Mine is Bliss. So it's in the juvenile section of the library, so I count it as a children's book. But it's about this girl, and she has a magical bakery, and the stuff in the bakery makes you feel different things, like there are muffins for happiness. And
Oh, that sounds like a fun book. I never heard of that one.
it's really good. And it looks cute. I love it. It's one of my all-time favorites. Later on the book, there's the cover.
My favorite one for this category was Matilda. I don't know if you can see that or not. But I always loved Matilda, and I read that for the first time when I was in 3rd grade. And it was the first book that made me feel like it was okay to be a book nerd. Ooh. Because she read all the
Yeah,
time. That was
'cause-
her thing.
Yeah, yeah. I like the movie. I haven't seen the book.
Oh, same.
I thought the movie was adorable. But mine, I'm like going with one that's not like a chapter book or anything at all. It's like legit children's book. But mine is If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, because I remember reading this.
This makes me want cookies.
It makes me. I don't know. I remember looking at it and just really loving the art a lot. And anything by like Laura Numeroff. Take a pancake, all of it. I love it all.
Slam the book that much.
Slam it. So much I love it.
So, what do we got next, Sid?
Double shot of espresso. Name a book that kept you on the edge of your seat from start to finish.
What was yours? Yeah, ready, are you?
Okay. No, Squid, you go first.
I go.
Okay, you guys are.
I got this. I got it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 0 Day. That's like mine.
Is that a new book?
What?
Is that a new book?
Yeah.
I
Came out.
got her Instagram for a beautiful bookstagram of it.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
The red and blue
It-
Sharpies.
Yeah. Bookstagram. But no, it's like a really good, like, political thriller, but the politics isn't annoying.
Okay.
Like, it's not biased politics. It's just, it's about, like, the president, so of course it's political. But, like, it's it's about his daughter that got kidnapped, and then she reappears, and then it's just so good. And the whole time you don't know whose side who is on.
Discomfort.
It was great. I was on the edge of my seat.
Mine's a really uncommon book. It's called
Google search.
Oh, yeah. It's called The Girl on the Wall. It's about this girl, and she has recently become not really good friends with one of her best friends, and she goes to a birthday party, and they're all really rich. And she goes to her birthday party, and kidnappers come, and they take all of them as hostages. And she hides in the walls because she knew where all the secret hiding spots in the house were from when she was younger.
Wow.
It's really intense, and there are people getting killed in the middle of it, and keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Mine was The Cage by Megan Shepherd. And this is a relatively new book. It came out last year, and then the sequel came out this year. But it's about a girl who had kind of a rough life. Her dad was a politician, and she had been in juvenile detention for killing someone in a car accident that she didn't actually do it. She was actually trying to stand up and take fall for her dad. So in that book, though, she gets abducted by aliens, actually, which kind of takes a twist for it. And she's put in what they call the cage.
Like, this went from, like...
I know, it feels like...
It's like Magonia.
Oh, I haven't read that yet, but I want to.
You should. It goes from, like, contemporary to, like, massive fantasy. It's great.
But anyway, the cage, she ends up in this in a cage with 5 other teens, and they've been paired off so that the aliens can, like, see how they mate and stuff, and they're all rebelling, and there's, like, all these weird games and things are being treated kind of how I'd imagine that a chimpanzee in a zoo feels, like they want to watch them perform. So books that are not hard to explain seem to be books that you see everywhere, which is our Starbucks category. So what are the books that you see everywhere?
Are we starting with me?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going with Me Before You. Right now, it's everywhere because it's like the movie, but I can't go to Walmart or Books A Million or like Windstream over there. With
We're looking out the window. In case you guys are wondering.
It's everywhere right now. I almost went with Girl on the Train because that's pretty much everywhere, but Me Before You is just kind of obnoxiously everywhere for me right now.
Okay. So I chose a book that I do love, and I'm shamed for talking about this far
Don't be shamed.
too often.
Don't be shamed.
The Fault in Our Stars, but it really is everywhere. But I love it. It's so adorable. If you don't know what it's about, then go read it, please.
Fix that.
Fix that. You've heard the name. It's everywhere.
It's about more than astronomy, we swear.
The book for me that I keep seeing everywhere, and I kind of cheated because it's like the series more than anything, but The Maze Runner. And this is I'm going to be a hipster about it series and just not read it because everyone's reading it and I'm sick of hearing about it.
I read the first one, it's really good, and then I tried Scorched Trials, and it's...
Same. It gets progressively worse. Oh, okay. The Hipster Coffee Shop. Give a book by an indie author a shout out. I don't read out loud a lot. I'll do mine first.
Oh, we had it too.
We did. I love this book. It is called Old Man Closer, Necromancer. I don't know. Yeah.
I like
It's
how
also a spin-off of
that Elton John song, Pull
Yeah.
Me Closer Tiny Dancer, which is also
Oh.
sometimes Pull Me Closer Tony Danza, depending on who you ask.
Yeah. So I love this book. It's about this boy named Sam, and he finds out that he can see ghosts.
dear. So kind of
Yes.
Sixth Sense thing going on, I guess.
Yeah, but it's really interesting because he's this like big millionaire's after him because he's trying to kill all the necromancers. And tell me if I'm saying necromancers right, please.
It sounds
Yeah,
right
you're
to
right.
me.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's my beautiful book. I love it so much.
This one for me was the trilogy by Amanda Hocking. And I don't know how indie she really is anymore, but when she first started writing, she was publishing stuff herself on Kindle, and so I was buying her books before they hit actual publishers, which makes me sound super hipstery.
Really though, I'm the
I read
same
that
way.
book before it hit the publishers. I
But,
like that.
But this is Lena and I favorite. This is how
It's
we
actually
responded.
later in mine, so I'm gonna take this back.
Mine, I went with indie,
Mine,
as in
mine,
not
mine,
well
mine.
known, and this is actually kind of a newish book, like last year.
Mhm.
But it's Love and Other Unknown Variables, which you look at it and you think like the statistical probability of love at first sight. You love that one too, but it's actually more or less like Fault in Our Stars, only like better.
Is it like sicklet? Like, are people sick and dying? Is that one of those
I'm
things?
not telling you.
Um.
It's just wonderful. And I
Spoilers.
cried like harder on that one than Fault in Our Stars.
I already knew what was happening in the
Fault-
Fault in Our Stars.
Fault in Our Stars made me cry like, oh, sadness. But that one made me like sob. And I was reading it on my Nook app. I was actually reading it off my computer. So I was like in the living room just reading it because I couldn't find my Nook. And then I'm just like crying all of a sudden. Everyone's like, okay, maybe if we ignore Sydney, she'll quit crying. And I'm just like, what is life? It's wonderful. And the reason we have it is because I requested it.
Nice. So you make others cry. because
So
you
I can make
people suffer.
everyone cry in the best ways. Is it mine?
Mhm.
Okay. Oops, I accidentally got decaf, which is terrible. Name a book you were expecting a little more from. Am I gonna start this one off?
Sure. So you grabbed your book.
Yeah. I might get a little bit of hate here, but I'm going with Tuck Everlasting. But it's because like it was like a book club book and everybody was like, it's so good, it's so good. And so I had my expectations here and I read it. It was more like here. I don't know, I liked it, but I was also like, I could have lived a happy life without reading it.
I think that's how I was with The Fault in Our Stars, actually. I mean,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I liked it, but by the time I got to it, I had been so hyped that I was just like,
I was so hipster on that for years, like I'm not reading that. And then I was like nerd fighter, and then I was like, I have to read all the John Green books, and but that's mine.
Okay, I'm gonna get more hate than you probably for this. I chose Matched.
Yeah, you got hate from me.
Yeah, I knew I would. But all my friends were like, you have to read this, it's really good. I'm not that into dystopian books. I'm
like
more
dystopian.
of a fantasy girl, and I read the first one and it was pretty good. I couldn't do it. My expectations were really high for it and it was like, here.
that's always disappointing.
Yes.
For me, that book was, well, and I guess the series was the Eve trilogy by Anna Carey. And it was one of those that sounded like a really good kind of post-apocalyptic thing because a deadly disease had wiped out most of the population, and the kids who were left had been put in these like really restrictive schools, and they were only boys or only girls. And she kind of finds out like what your fate is after graduation was not what she had actually imagined. And it sounded like it was going to be a really cool book, and I was expecting this really super strong, super smart, super cool female character, and what I got was just like this weenie girl that only ever accomplishes anything because someone else helped her do it. And it just made me cranky because I felt like she could have been a really strong character and she just wasn't. And it made me angry. So I made it through the first two
Book
books.
slam.
I made it through the first two books, and she
Hashtag.
was just so whiny that I couldn't read the third
Yes.
one.
Use that hashtag, please. Book slam.
Hashtag book
Hashtag
slam.
slam. Oh, I guess this is my turn, isn't it?
Mhm.
Okay, so this one is The Perfect Blend. Name a book or series that was both bitter and sweet, but ultimately satisfying.
Yeah, you haven't gone first in a while, have you?
I haven't, and I actually have to show a picture of this one because we don't have them, although I've asked for them, so hopefully we'll get them soon. But this is the Incarnate series by Jody Meadows. And I devoured this series, could not stop reading it. It's basically a world in which everyone dies and is reincarnated multiple times. It's happened for about 1,000 years. And all of a sudden, a new girl is born, a soul that has never been born before. And she took someone else's place, so she's kind of this outcast. And the trilogy is excellent, and there's kind of a huge conspiracy and mystery that's going on throughout the whole thing. But what got me was the ending of the last book. I was just like, no. It was really, really good, and it ultimately ended well, but it kind of broke my heart before it ended well. So, yeah, that was mine.
Mine is something that Squid will not quit being hipster about and won't read. The City of Bones. It is not as much of a romance as it looks. Trust me, it is beautiful, and it's about. If you haven't heard about it, there's a TV show and there's a book movie and there's book series and there's a second series. I've read all of them. There's 3 second series and I've read all of them except.
Okay, can I do mine?
Yes.
I'm going with the whole series of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. The first one, second one was good too. There was just a lot to chew on in the second series. This one, it's really good. It's really good. It had fun and sadness and happiness
and hilariousness.
And
because Percy's
all of it, and Cyclopses and Tyson. If you haven't read it, read it. What are you doing with your life?
Okay.
Oh, do I have to?
No, it's Lena's.
Yeah, it's mine. Green tea. Now we're in tea, which is what we like much better than coffee, except for her.
Excuse you.
She likes coffee. So, name a book or series that is quietly beautiful. What I'm going to talk about is a book that my sister currently has, and I don't.
And I made you read.
And she made me read.
It's true.
I just finished it 2 days
Oh, I
ago.
know this. I know it. Go ahead.
It's Tiger Lily, and it is so wonderful. It's about Tiger Lily from Peter Pan and how she and Peter Pan fall in love, and it's Tinkerbell is the narrator, and it's how Tinkerbell got her name and all about the hair. It's wonderful. And you know how in the movies of Peter Pan stuff, you're like, yay, Wendy, we don't like in the book, you hate Wendy.
And it's your original ship is out the window.
It's Tiger Lily and
OTP equal OT nope.
OT no.
Have you seen all those not conspiracies, just what the original Peter Pan was based off of, the books?
Yeah.
They freak me out. I'm just you mean the
Childhood
cute?
ruined.
Okay, let's see. Mine was Challenger Deep by Neil Shusterman, and we have this book at the library, and again, I think it's just been checked out. But this is what the cover looks like.
Shows you having a shot.
I know, I have to.
She's Instagram selfie over there.
Yeah, I need to bring some hair to my face.
Yeah.
It's suddenly you're the Gone cover.
So anyway, Challenger Deep is it's a book that deals with mental illness, but basically the main character is a boy, and he lives half his time in the normal world, and then half the time when you're reading the book, he's on a submarine called the Challenger Deep, and he's got this captain, and he has all these really strange interactions with the rest of the crew, and it takes a long time in the book for you to figure out how his two worlds kind of connect together, and then when you do, you kind of just melt into a puddle. So it's a book that I think it won an award after it was published, but I read it right after it came out, and it just the feels.
I've been wanting to read that one actually.
It's really, really
It's
good.
really good. Awesome. I forgot to pull up a picture for mine, so I'm just gonna say a bit. I'm sure everyone knows it, but mine's the Chronicles of Narnia, like that, because it is so delightful to read and charming, and I love C.S. Lewis and his writing. And I feel like a cruel saying this because I haven't read them all. I have them all, but
I own the entire series in one
Me
giant
too.
book.
Me too, a big fat.
And it has the movie cover on it.
Mine just has a lion flaming
I know.
epicness on
I
it.
used to have
Mine
that
has
one.
the witch from the movies on it.
Next one, right?
Yeah, next one.
Alright. chai tea, which is like my least favorite tea.
Oh, you know what? I'm not sure we can be friends.
But I do like the question. Is name a book or series that makes you dream of faraway places.
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Sure. Okay, again, mine and Michelle's beautiful series, The Trial Trilogy. It's about this. She already explained about what it was about, I think.
No, I didn't.
Maybe.
I skipped.
Oh.
I was gonna let you do it because.
So it's about this girl named Wendy, and I'm trying to think. It's really early on in the book when you learn about what she is, right?
Yeah.
She has the power of persuasiveness, and she can she can tell someone to do something in her mind, and they'll do it. And she's from this place called Foreigning, but she doesn't know it yet. That's like 3 chapters into the book. But Foreigning is this beautiful place that I always wanted to go to, and I dreamed about the boy and the character coming and taking me away to Foreigning multiple times. Multiple times. I actually messed up my hand.
What are siblings for?
So my book, in my series, I guess, it's The Girl of Fire and Thorns. And again, the first one was checked out, so I just grabbed a different one in the series. This is the last one, Bitter Kingdom. And this blue stone that's on the front with the girl's face in it, basically in these books, the main character's name is Elisa, and she is the chosen one, God's chosen one, and so she has the God stone in her belly button. It's this big blue shiny stone.
Well, Steven Universe.
If you say so.
No, I didn't
But
watch it. I just know there's like jewels.
Yeah, that's same.
It only happens like once every
Secondhand
100 years
disease.
that they choose one of these, and so she's very special, but she's never felt very special, and she's kind of chunky, and she's kind of like not very good at talking. Like because she's a princess, she's not very good at being a diplomat or talking to important people, and so she always feels kind of lame. But she gets married off to the neighboring kingdom, and then a whole lot of things go down, and she kind of starts to discover that maybe she is better than she thought. But the reason that this one always gets me into that far off places mode is because it's like part of it's in the desert, part of it's kind of in the jungle, but it all has this like really exotic kind of combination of like Spanish and India, like all these different like really fun cultures. And she really likes to eat, so she's always talking about food. So the whole time reading this book, I'm like, someone please make me a coconut scone so that I can eat one and understand what she's eating. It's so delicious.
I just thought of something. Okay, so Hunger Games. When she's talking about all the different foods
Yes.
in the capital, I'm like, I want it.
Mine, and I was trying to find the place, the island's name, but I can't remember what it is. But mine is Scorpio Races by Maggie Steifvater. I just really love the island. I forget what it's called. I keep wanting to say Thisbe, but it's not Thisbe, it's something else. But it's like Scottish, but it's fictional, but it feels real. Like it feels real enough, like I could go there right now, but it's not real. It's like a really good book, and you don't know what time period it's placed in exactly, and you know America exists in it. It's so good. And then like getting into it's a little hard because it's like a bit of a slow. It's like a really thick novel. It's not thick big wise, but it's like a lot to chew on.
Like dense.
Like yeah, it's very dense, and that's like, and I don't know how she managed to fit so much detail and greatness into one book that's only like 300 or 400 pages long. And I'm just like, I want more, but I don't. And Sean Kendrick. I'm not usually like impressed by those dudes who are like stoic and silent, but Sean Kendrick.
If you wonder what we keep looking at, Eamon's over here like,
He's creeping on us all we can.
doing wrong.
So the last book, or the last category is Earl Grey, fittingly enough, since I'm drinking Earl Grey tea. And it's name your favorite classic. And this one was the easiest category for me because I was immediately like, Jane Eyre. So I just picked it. This is actually the book I have at home. This is the cover that it is. Jane Eyre is it's one of the leather-bound ones from Barnes & Noble. And if you don't know what Jane Eyre is, look it up. It's amazing. But it's my absolute favorite, and it's one that I reread just about every year, and usually during the winter time at some point, because it's perfect for like curling up with for long periods of time because it's a pretty big book, and have some tea and just feel really nice and British for a while.
You go next.
Me go next? Alright, I'm going with my favorite book ever, and also classic, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I read this like last year.
Again, Bookstagram.
Bookstagram all over mine, because I just really love this book, and I was really upset when Harper Lee died, but yeah, this was like the first book that I feel actually impacted my way of seeing things. Even though most of the point of views that were held in it, I held already and understood, but it helped me understand it in a new light, I guess. Like, I felt like I had a deeper understanding of what happened, like years after the Civil War in the Deep South, and I just love Scout. I think I really like Scout and Jim.
Again, if you haven't read To Kill a Mockingbird, get a life, please. No, actually, don't get a life. Mine, my beautiful book, is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I've always loved Alice in Wonderland ever since I was a little kid. I wanted an Alice in Wonderland party, but I didn't get one.
Wasn't enough time.
Anyway, that is our video for today, and hopefully we'll get more soon. So if you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see, please put them down in the comments, and we will also try to link all of our books and series down in the comment box or in the description box below, so that you know. Yes, there are a lot, so that you know what to read. And we'll see you later. Bye.